Hey guys, Rollout or Taylor here, and today I'm back with another Division 2 video. This one is going to be all about Washington DC in the Division 2. There's a few things you might have missed, and in this video I'm going to cover 5 things that I initially missed and that I feel you guys might want to hear about. So guys, let's get straight into the video. So first up, the size of Washington DC. So on the official website now, it states the following. Unlike anything before, the Division 2's Washington DC is a one-to-one representation of the real city, making the game world more authentic than ever. The game's map offers up close and personal views of landmarks, natural landscapes, neighborhoods, and enemy hideouts. So that's pretty impressive, a one-to-one scale representation of Washington DC. But what's also more impressive is that it's about 20% bigger than the Division 1's New York City. But that's not all. By the sounds of it, Washington DC in the Division 2 is going to get even bigger with the free DLC that's planned for the game. They haven't gone into too much details about what the DLC is going to be, but they have teased that it could include map expansions and new locations. So I don't think we'll be getting bored of Washington DC anytime soon. Now for one that I've already covered in a previous video, that being 5 things you might have missed during the Division 2 release info, and that's actually going to be contamination zones and the underground, or in better words, beneath Washington DC. Now, we know that New York City is pretty much known for its underground transportation systems. So they've got the subway and they've got many numerous ways to travel around New York City. Washington DC is very similar in the fact that it's got its own underground system, but it's also got a lot of secret tunnels that can't be accessed by the public. We know that there's going to be underground systems in the game, and that was actually shown off in one of the very first gameplay trailers that we got. And if you didn't realise, in the same tunnel that one of the characters walks out of, it's actually a contaminated zone as well. And that's why I wanted to bring it to light, because I thought it was cool that we get almost 2 things confirmed from one shot. That being that there's underground tunnels or transport routes, and the fact that there are some contamination zones outside of the DZ. I'm super happy about this because I loved exploring the underground systems in New York City within the Division 1. So if I'm going to be able to do similar in the Division 2, then I really cannot wait to go exploring. Now the next couple need to be taken with a pinch of salt, because I could have definitely interpreted them completely differently to others. Now in Washington DC in real life, there's an island called Theodore Roosevelt Island, and this island just is pretty much covered in trees, grass, shrubbery, nature walks and wildlife. Now you're probably wondering why I'm telling you this, but there was actually a panel with Julian Gretti at E3, and he goes on to say the following.
Midtown Manhattan.
Sure.
Midtown Manhattan, as iconic as it is, it's a grid, huge buildings, fairly claustrophobic. Washington DC, you've got those huge buildings, but you've also got the mall, wide open spaces, you've got Georgetown, suburbs, you've got residential, commercial areas. You've got nature on Roosevelt Island. So all of this variety was something that was super important for us.
Now to me, that sounds like he's just told us that we're going to be able to explore Roosevelt Island. And if we can, I'm going to be ecstatic. The main reason being is when they released the Snowdrop trailer engine a few years back, the design of the trees, how great it looked. And then when we got our hands on the Division 1 and knowing that there wasn't any real dense forest area to explore, I've always sort of craved for it and wanted to see how the Division would play out in a setting like that. So if we do get to go over to Roosevelt Island, I might just be able to live my dreams. Now second to last is one of the most iconic features in the Division 1, that being the Dark Zone. Now it's been confirmed there is going to be a Dark Zone in the Division 2, but we just don't have a solid confirmation of where it's gonna be. Now we have a good idea of where it's gonna be, and that's down to the fact that Marco Style did his wizardry and figured it all out by combining a load of trailers and gameplay videos and sussing it all out for himself. Now he's got a really good video on his channel, so I'd definitely highly recommend going and checking that out. Now the one big giveaway was the DZ walls that were in the playable demo at E3. Now I tried to walk as close to the DZ as possible, but nothing really popped up, nothing on the UI or anything like that. But by the looks of things, it's going to be in the Union Station district, and this actually sits right next to the Judiciary Square. Also what's cool about this is it has a metro station, Judiciary Square Metro Station. So if it does span over to that district, then we might be exploring some more underground areas just like the Division 1. Either way, I can't wait to hear more about the Dark Zone in the Division 2, not just where it's going to be, but the changes from the Division 1. Like I said, I really can't wait to hear more about the Dark Zone in the Division 2. Now finally, a really cool one. But again, please take this with a pinch of salt, because it definitely could end up not being real whatsoever. Now a good week or so back, a video popped up from a Brazilian Ubisoft outlet stating that the base of operations in the Division 2 is going to be the White House. Now in the video that was released, it went on to say that players will be able to develop the White House as their base of operations throughout the campaign. Now like I said, take this with a pinch of salt, but the White House is obviously going to be in this game. It's a really iconic building that everyone in the world knows about, and you can see on the map that it is an objective. Either way, I can't wait to visit these amazing looking landmarks. And if one of them is the base of operations and I get to gradually upgrade it just like we could in the Division 1, then I'm going to be even more thrilled with it. But guys, that's going to be it for today's video. If you enjoyed it or found it interesting in any way whatsoever, then please let me know by either leaving a comment or by clicking that like button. And if you're new around here and want to stay up to date with all of the things to Division 2, then please make sure to subscribe. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.